This episode of Marijuana Today Daily is brought to you by our friends over at Ease, California's top one-stop website for legal marijuana delivery. Ease is super excited to announce the big news that they're now active in the Los Angeles area. If you live in LA and want access to top quality legal marijuana products at great prices for delivery, you can now pop open ease.com to place an order. Ease only partners with the best dispensaries in their active areas, so you know you're in for a stellar customer experience when you place an order through ease.com, which is spelled E-A-Z-E. And while you're waiting for your order to be delivered, you can zip over to ease.com/blog to read all the industry insight and analysis developed by the Ease team using their properly aggregated and anonymized sales data stream. That's ease.com and ease.com/blog. Good morning, Marijuana Nation. It's Monday, April 23rd, 2018, and you're tuned in to episode 474 of Marijuana Today Daily. I'm your host, Shay Gunther, and I'll be walking you through today's marijuana news and headlines. As always, we have a full and busy day of cannabis news in our hands, so let's jump right into it. Our top story this fine Monday is a broader drug war headline, with Tom Angel picking up the first of his three pieces of the day with news of a resolution adopted over the weekend by Canada's ruling Liberal Party to decriminalize all drugs. The resolution was adopted on Saturday and reads in part, quote, "The government of Canada should treat drug abuse as a health issue, expand treatment and harm reduction services, and reclassify low-level drug possession and consumption as administrative violations," unquote. Click over to Tom's story on Marijuana Moment for the full read on this one. This is today's top story because the arguments that are made for why we shouldn't criminalize people for using marijuana extend, for the most part, to all other drugs our government has classified as illegal. There are few to no societal issues caused by drug abuse that are made better by a criminal justice approach, overseeing problems through an evidence-based, healthcare-centric frame. We really would be doing the world an injustice if we stop drug policy reform when we get marijuana legalized. Open this one up and get a handle on the issue. Continuing on his dominant day, our friend Tom Angel has a good write-up to accompany a video of Washington State's Governor Jay Inslee extolling the virtues of his state's legal marijuana during an appearance Friday on Bill Maher's real-time TV show on HBO. In a quote that's sure to rile up some cross-border rivalry with neighboring Oregon, Governor Inslee said, quote, "I can honestly say we've got the best weed in the United States of America," unquote. Besides the fun factor of hearing a governor brag about his state's legal marijuana, it's not insignificant as a social marker that someone in such a high office is so loudly getting behind legal cannabis. What a time and world we live in. We broaden our geographical scope out a bit for our final top story of the day with news out of Australia of the endorsement of legalizing adult use marijuana by a political party with seats in Parliament, a first for the nation. Australia currently has a limited medical marijuana program that's been criticized for the difficulties patients have had in gaining access to medicine. Last week, Australia's Green Party announced their support for a proposed plan to legalize adult use that would set up a chain of government-owned dispensaries while also allowing for the home grow of 6 plants per adult. We'll keep an eye on things down under for sure. Those are our top stories for today. It's time for Marijuana Today Daily Headlines Blitz. Before we blitz out on headlines, let's quickly thank our sponsor, Ease, California's top one-stop website for legal marijuana delivery. Ease's customers value the fact that Ease helps them stay on the right side of California cannabis law by being super strict about maintaining compliance themselves and with their partner dispensaries, who are expected to do the same. That results in better quality control and a more satisfying buying experience for you, the Ease customer. Open up ease.com to find out if your local part of California is allowing for legal delivery and if Ease is active there. And then if your luck lines up on both counts, go ahead and get your order in. And like I mentioned at the top of the show, Ease is now active in Los Angeles. So if you live in LA, that second question's already answered for you. Yes, they do deliver to you. One last time, that's ease.com, which is spelled E-A-Z-E. Thanks to everyone over at Ease for all the support. All right, time for the Blitz. Marijuana news hound Tom Angel finishes out his Monday cannabis trifecta with a story about New York Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, who called out U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions yesterday in a letter requesting that he meet with constituents of hers who have been negatively impacted by the federal government's war on marijuana. The good senator from New York also held a press conference where she talked about the need to reform how the U.S. deals with marijuana, saying, quote, "It's time for the United States to legalize the possession of marijuana, and I urge all New Yorkers to raise their voices and join me in this fight to fix our justice system," unquote. Another good one to open up and read in full. As always, we have all the news we cover linked to on our website at mjtodaydaily.com and on our Twitter account at mjtodaydaily. Massachusetts lawmakers are not expecting that they'll make any changes to their state's laws governing marijuana homegrown cultivation this legislative session. I've reported on this issue as Massachusetts state law is a little vague about how much cannabis is permitted under homegrown situations, allowing medical marijuana patients the right to grow enough for a 60-day supply, which has been defined as 10 ounces of flower. The Massachusetts State Supreme Court recently agreed with that characterization and ruled that the state should clarify things by setting a plant count for medical marijuana patients. Mass Live is reporting that State Senator Pat Jalen, chair of the Committee on Marijuana Policy, said that the issue is more likely to be taken up for deliberation during next year's legislative session than this year's, which ends on July 31st. Popping up to my home state of Maine for a headline, there's a good story in the Portland Press Herald over a planned cut in the number of plants allowed under legal homegrown situations, as state lawmakers work to enact the adult use legal sales program and expansion voted in by Mainers back in 2016. That ballot measure originally set a maximum count of 6 flowering cannabis plants per adult, while the current limit has been cut to just 3. This is a politically instructive story, even if you don't live in Maine, so maybe not a bad one to read in full. Michigan state officials are looking for ways to better handle the cash flow needs of their growing medical marijuana industry. Regular listeners know that access to business banking is one of legal cannabis's bigger lingering issues, and Michigan state officials want a better way to collect all the tax revenue they expect to come in from legal marijuana sales. There's no definitive details yet on this story, but we'll keep an eye out and we'll pass on anything relevant. The Denver Post has a good piece up about this year's Denver 420 celebrations, which were reportedly a lot more corporate and a lot less activist-y than in previous years, which is probably not unexpected in a state 4 years into allowing legal adult use sales. Click over to the Denver Post's story if you want to see a bunch of people excited about getting high outside on a cloudy and cold-looking day. 2 lawmakers from the opposite sides of the political aisle are teaming up in Arizona to push for the legalization of adult use marijuana. Arizona came close to allowing legal adult use via ballot measure in 2016's elections, but failed to roust enough cannabis supporters to the polls. State Representative Todd Clodfelter, a Republican, and Mark Cardenas, a Democrat, have introduced legislation to put the question of legalizing adult use before voters again in November's election. It's another story we'll be tracking. And finally for today, Canada's Global News has a good story up about a potential danger for Canadian travelers visiting the United States during border crossings. The danger lies in U.S. customs agents gaining access to consumer data from cannabis purchases to screen out marijuana users from entering the United States. Even scarier is the threat of being barred from the U.S. for life for lying to customs agents over past marijuana use. If you live in Canada or have any kind of connections there, this is an excellent story to read and an important issue to fully understand. Those are the headlines and news for the day. I'll be back with you again tomorrow morning with another information-packed episode of Marijuana Today Daily. But in the meantime, if you have any stories to share or feedback to give, zip us an email to headlines@mjtodaydaily.com. And while you're clicking around the interwebs, swing over to our Twitter account at mjtodaydaily and visit our website at mjtodaydaily.com to find links to all the news we cover. Thanks to our sponsor, Ease, and to all of our awesome Patreon listeners for the support that makes this show possible. To join the illustrious ranks of the Patreon listeners yourself, swing over to our website at mjtodaydaily.com and click on that big blue button at the top of the page that says, Become a Patron. I'm your host, Shay Gunther. Thanks for tuning in and starting your day with marijuana today.
One take, Shay. One take.